Right, so I will demonstrate how to build everything you can see here. Everything from arches to curved corners to whatever those things would be called. Corners, just regular corners, whatever. We have a circle here, and then a hexagon, and a pentagon, and a dome, and some wacky stuff over there. So the reason to why I have colored these red and then gray is so that you can easily see how these parts, like how these builds are broken, like how you break it down, basically. All right, Jesus Christ, I am really struggling with speaking right now. Or whatever. So, and obviously this is to minimize sea fighting as much as possible. This has been a frequent request for my desert build that I made before. How I made it not get sea fighting. And well, this is basically it. So if you ever was like, hey, how did he do that? And in that case, hey, this is how I did it. And I will show you exactly how I did in a little bit. But I'm going to start off with the most frequently asked how to kind of thing, whatever. That's, oh my god, my speaking right now is difficult. Whatever. So we're gonna create a ring here. All right, simple stuff. So we take a part, place it in the center. This is gonna be the point of origin. Easy stuff. We duplicate it using Shift-C. We move it outwards. We use rotate pivots and middle mouse button click this part here. Now this will make this part rotate around this part. Obviously, you can tell easily. We duplicate it using Shift-C, one on each side. Do not use Control-D because this is what will happen. It duplicates, but you will notice that the rotation is being reset to the part, and that's not what we want. You're going to use resize align, outer touch, boop, 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 like that. As you can tell. We remove the parts on the side. We take this part now because it's the perfect size, and we rotate it around this part. So Shift-C, and you just keep doing this. Or if you're lazy like I am, I would normally just do this. And then select them all again. Ta-da! Magic. Now we want to create a dome, which is this part here. So, just to make things easier, I will make this part here 2 studs tall as well. So I'll just move everything up. This doesn't really matter, but it makes things easier to see. So I will remove all of these parts here again, because this part is already the perfect size. So I duplicate it, I rotate it on this axis instead. Now, to make it easier, because now we're going to be using gap fill. But first, select edge. Actually, let's play it further instead. Select edge on that face here. If you don't know how to use select edge, it is Alt middle mouse button click, and it will select that edge. Really easy stuff. We'll make it flat because this will make it easier for you to see what you're actually doing. So there we go. We want to make sure that this edge here has the same position. So even if you rotate everything else around it, oh wait, what happened here? There we go. So even if you rotate this part all the way around, it doesn't really matter. Like it can be like this if you want to, but obviously things will be more difficult for you, and why would you? So we'll keep like this. Now we select these parts here. We use resize center inwards so they end up being very tiny, and we duplicate them onto the sides like this. And now we do the exact same thing as we did to begin with to get this part size. So resize align, outer touch these faces. There we go. And now, just like before, we remove these parts. Go away. There we go. Right. So we now have the skeleton of our dome. And now we use gap fill. Select this face here, well, this edge. And now we just move our way down like that. Now obviously you don't see these parts anymore, so you can simply remove them. Select everything here. Group it together using Control G. And just like before, I'll just move this thing up so it'll be easier to see. Shift C, rotate pivot around this part here. And as you can tell, we now have a dome. Easy stuff. Looks good. Next, we will go over how to create a hexagon. So we take a part here again. This time, however, since we will be dealing with a solid object. Basically, what I mean with a solid object in this case would be that this is obviously not solid. We have an inside, it's hollow. No, it's not hollow, it's hollow. There we go. So we have a hollow object here, and whatever I call the other thing. Yeah, exactly. I already lost the word. So, this case, we will simply have this will be the point of origin part, but at the same time, it will be a part of the build. I know. Your mind has been expanded a million times. So we take it out like this. We'll make a huge one, you know. Awesome. There we go. We take the rotate pivot. 360 divided by 6, because we want to have 6 faces. And we duplicate it. Duplicate it again, like that. Ta-da! Now resize the line. Connect these faces here. And there we go. Excellent. Now, we want to create a pentagon. This object over here. We'll duplicate this part up, but since the pentagon is uneven, because it has an uneven amount of corners, we can't use the same technique we used to create this part down here. So we will be forced to use the point of origin part again. We move it upwards, just to make it easier to see what we're actually doing. Move it one stud out, because we want to have the center point here. Move it outwards to get the size of the pentagon. So let's say we want to make it, there we go. Oh, 10 studs from the center part. We do 360 divided by 5, it gets 72. Same technique as before. Middle mouse button click the point of origin, Shift C. There we go. Same thing as before, resize the line, connect these parts. Shabram! There we go. Now we have a hexagon. No, it's not a hexagon, it's a pentagon. No, it's not a pentagon, it's a pentagon. There we go. That was difficult to say. Right. So, let's create an arch. The arch is obviously the exact same thing as how to create a circle, but just for the sake of it, I'll show you as well. Let's make it 2 studs as well, just for the sake of it. Move it outwards like this. Like 30 again. Middle mouse button click, Shift C. There we go. Other touch. Remove this part here only, and now we can remove that part as well, and rotate around like this. Ta-da! And we can extend those down. Now we have an arch. Now, let's say we want to have one of these fancy pointy arches, alright? Now, the thing about these are that every single section here has a different size. It starts off small and then expands as you keep going. And you want to curve it 45 degrees so that it will connect perfectly at the top from the other side as well. So, how I usually do this, because, well, I don't really care much for exact values, because when I build things, I like to free build. So I just go all over the place. I change things, I add things, and I don't really have much of a pre-plan originally. So the exact size doesn't really matter the build kind of, it just comes together on its own in a way. So the best way I can explain this is by removing this side here. Oops, what did I just do? I don't know. I hit end. I changed things. I don't know. Whatever. This part here is apparently. Actually, you know what? I want it to be 2 slots again. I'll move it upwards. I use select edge. As I said before, it has to be 45. So in my case, I would normally just do 15. There we go. And we move it upwards again. In this case, you can either use move first or move object to make it move on this axis. Select edge again. I'll extend it a little bit. Same thing again, upwards. And now it should be 45 degrees. We will be using the reflect plugin, which is a plugin by Savant. We duplicate it, move it up like this. And now we have the perfect center of the arch, which will be, now we'll be using reflect. So we'll select these parts here, reflect, and now it will mirror itself. Resize the line can allow us to use a butt joint, and this will connect the two parts like that, rather than if we were to, for example, use resize align outer touch. Now they are overlapping, and that's kind of not really what we want. We want them to connect just perfectly, so we don't get C-fighting, because now we get C-fighting from this direction here. I'll just recolor this thing for the sake of it. Make it blue. Like you can see, we can see fighting in every single direction, and this is definitely not what we want. But if it looks like this, obviously no C-fighting, and if it's the same color and the same texture, you won't see that it actually cuts off on this end here. However, we still have this C-fighting here, and that looks bad. Like, you don't like that, I don't like that, no one likes that, so screw it. You know what? We're gonna add some wedges. We take wedges here, and we slap it on here. Excellent. And just to make it easier to work with, we will scale it down. And we just place them on every single part here, as you can tell here. And now resize the line, outer touch, like that. And now we take the parts here, we use reflect. And now we're like, well, how exactly do we get this top up here to connect? Because obviously if we use outer touch to connect them, we still get C-fighting at the top here. Now, here's the magic, okay? Don't tell anyone, don't tell your parents, tell your neighbor's dog though. You take them and you scale them down like this. And I use a corner wedge. I know. Shh, don't tell anyone. And we go over here. We don't do it in that direction. Now, corner wedge is a little bit weird. Like, I don't know why, but it kind of messes with your head a little bit when you try to scale them around. You don't really understand what's actually happening. So this might actually take me a little while just so my brain can like figure out what is actually happening. It should be like, wait, why is this so complicated? This shouldn't be this complicated. Wait, I know what I'm doing wrong. Oh no! This tutorial was supposed to go. Oh wait, I got it. It's fine. Don't worry. Now to do the other side as well. Let's scale out again to make it easier to move it around. Wait, is that right? That's right. No, that's not right at all. Oh no, corner wedges are like the bane of my existence. You have no idea how much time I spent doing this kind of crap. Hey, I got it. Right. And there we go. Now as you can tell, like yellow. There's no C-fighting anywhere. You don't see any C-fighting unless you go over here. But obviously we can be really cheeky and just duplicate the spot here. scale it inwards so we get the center part of the arch. We select everything here and we mirror it. Now, of course, you can't really mirror. You can't mirror corner wedges, because corner wedges messes up like this, as you can tell, because they have a weird shape. But in this case, I would just remove these. I would select them on this end here. Now we actually have a purpose for the center part. We Shift C, rotate pivot, and we rotate it around like that. And ta-da! It is a perfect arch. Amazing in every way. Move it down like that. Snap. That looks good, eh? Exactly, I agree. Remove them. And now we have... Oof, that one. Oof, that's a difficult one. Not really. We take parts here. Whoop, whoop, right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Perfect. Let's just, for the sake of it, say that it's 5. There we go. Now you don't actually know how big this is. You're kind of like, I really wish I knew how to create a beveled corner here, or a rounded corner. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. So what we do here is that we take a part. We place on this and here. We make sure that it is aligned with this face. If it isn't, use resize align, extend up to, in that case, extend up to in this case as well. And there we go. Now, the perfect corner, not the perfect corner, but basically what we will be rotating everything around is the position that this is in. Like the perfect corner. Why do I keep saying perfect? In the position that this corner is in is what we're going to be rotating the curve around. So, in this case, we will make sure that it is, we scale it down all the way like this, in case we have a really weird value. We take 0.05 again, and we scale it along the walls so that the center point of this part will be where the corner used to be. And now obviously we can just, now that we have the center point, we can just scale it whatever we want. So I'll make it 2 by 2 by 2 to make it easier to see. And I'll take this part here, I'll just scale inwards like that. Scale a little bit as well to make it easier to see. And just like before, when we made a circle, we will simply Shift C and middle mouse button click on this part here with rotate pivot. As you can tell, like this. Actually, let's just make it an even smaller value like that. There we go. Now it's actually easy to see what you're doing. We can use outer touch on these parts here to connect them. I know that we have one. Wait, I don't. I have been bamboozled. There you go. Then now we have a corner, a rounded corner thing. It looks awesome. Great, awesome, great. Remove those. Boop. How much time have I spent in this? Probably too long. Let's go back to what we have over here. Now, in most cases, this wouldn't really matter and you wouldn't really care. But what if you had wooden flooring and you're like, wow, I really wish that my floor didn't overlap and look weird like this. This doesn't look good. No wooden floor looks like this. However, if it connects like this, it kind of almost lines up perfectly. And you can kind of tweak things around to hopefully get it to look the way you want it to. Like maybe rotate that thing around a little bit and maybe that one a little bit again. And yeah, it looks good enough. So, as you can tell, all I have done here is to add wedges on the edges here. And like really basic stuff, but I'll show you exactly how. We take a part here, scale it, not using 0.05, we use 15, there we go. Scale upwards like that, select edge. Actually, no. Not even select edge, we're gonna be even cooler. We're gonna do that. And then we just move it, because I almost skipped a step by doing that. Move it out like this. You want them to connect, so resize the line, inner touch. That will only make this corner and this corner connect. And now we have this as we wanted. We know that these parts are 2 studs wide. So we'll take a wedge. I just picked this 0.41 instead of this 1 stud, just to make it easier. And then try and rotate it without it. Come on! There it is. Come. Right. We just place it on the edge here. We'll move it downwards. 1 stud, obviously. And 1 stud. We just need to fit it down there. Alright. There we go. And now scale like that. Now, you can actually use resize align on wedges. As long as we use outer touch here, by the way. So outer touch, and then connect them like that. Now we'll make it a wooden color, because obviously this is the only way this works is for wooden flooring, as you can tell. Now you're like, oh no, look at that. That's kind of weird. So we use material flip. And voila! I know, amazing, right? It is pretty amazing, actually. So basically, what we have here is a corner. Actually, I didn't have to delete that. I can simply do this instead. I remove those corners. There we go. Now, you want to create a corner like this. Now, how a lot of people would do it is that they would be lazy. We aren't lazy over here. We are the cool boys or girls or whatever. And we don't do... Let me use this wedge here. Because people don't know how to do this. Like it's really basic stuff. But I guess it's just something that maybe I've just figured out on my own. I kind of just looked at it and I was like, oh, this is a problem. I'll fix it somehow. And then I did it. But a lot of people seem to be like, oh, I'm too lazy to actually create a perfect wedge here. So I will use gap fill, and they just like that. And in my own personal opinion, I kind of hate this. This doesn't look good. I really don't like it when you cut it off like this. It just looks lazy and ew. Exactly, I agree. Good that you share the exact same reaction as I do. So outer touch, these parts down here. I will move these upwards, just so it's easy to work with. Now we're gonna do the worst thing ever again, and that is to work with a corner wedge. But this time it's gonna be a lot easier. So we scale it down like that, and just like the wedge. Oops, I actually pulled my fingers there. Just like the wedge, if you want to use resize align on these parts, you can't. As an example, I'm gonna extend them outwards like this. It won't actually be able to find the face here, as you can tell, because this is sloped. But if, for example, I made the wedge like this, I make it flat, and then I use outer touch. Now I can easily select those faces, and we scale it downwards like this. Come on, there we go. Boop. As you can tell, perfect corner. It looks amazing. And you can do this at any kind of angle, really. So yeah, that's how you do it. Basic stuff. Obviously, there is no sea fighting, as can be demonstrated over here. There we go. Okay, well, beyond that one, but you don't see those. All right, there it's up. There we go. You can't see that anymore. Ta-da! Perfect. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Right, so we've gone through everything, more or less. Let's do some fun stuff. This basically uses the exact same technique I just showed you. Well, just move them over here for the sake of it. So these are corner wedges. As you can tell here, name, corner wedge. And we just scale them upwards. So you can actually see what I'm actually working with here. So, 2 corner wedges connecting at the top. And we want to create a cone. So we scale them inwards like this. We have our point of origin part just like before. We select these parts here. Not that one, that one. We duplicate it. We move it to the side here. Now obviously the ends here are pointless, so we can remove them already, so we don't, you know, accidentally get confused later on. And we connect these parts like this. And now we remove these parts here. There we go. As you can tell, we're now creating a cone with a lot of colors. Kind of looks a bit trippy, actually. There we go. Whoa! See if I can give me. Oh my god, this kind of messes with my eyes. What happened? Oh, there it is. Woo. Right. So that's that thing. A beveled part. So how to do this? We will simply take a part. We will make it 4 studs wide. We will take a sphere. We will take a cylinder. This is a wedge, but we can just use a regular, like obviously a wedge. No, it's not a wedge. It's a mesh. I mean, so this part here is a mesh, but by the fact that it only has 6 collision faces, this is actually a little bit more performance friendly than the regular Roblox one, which you can find here, because obviously this one has an absolute crap load of faces that you can actually interact with. But just for the sake of it, I will use the Roblox ones. You don't need a mesh. We want to make it. We want to make the bevel 0.2 studs. So we'll take it 0.2 as well. I will place this part on the edge here. Scale upwards like that. Inwards. Now this should be 0.2, 0.2. Actually, we want this thing to be 0. We want this thing to be 4 by 1 by 2. So we will scale this one in every single direction with 0.1 using resize center. There we go. Now we place the cylinder exactly on the edges here. As you can tell, just for the sake of it, I will color. Where did the sphere go? There it is. I will color these. Everyone's favorite color, hot pink. And we do the same thing again. Just to make it easier and like speed the process up, we will use select edge on that corner here. Like that. Move inwards like that. And we select them. Rotate pivots around. Now we'll take this part here. We'll make it 0.2, 0.2. Place it upwards here. And obviously we can scale it down using, well, we won't scale it down, but we will move it by 0.1 studs. Like that. Now we just move those. Excellent. Now we select everything except that part there. We duplicate them. Rotate pivots around the center part. Move it around like that. We'll take one of these, scale it, not scale it, but rotate it using rotate pivot again. And then up like that. Just move it in place. There we go. Now, this part needs 2 more parts. So we will extend this one using resize center until it covers that end. We'll duplicate it using Shift C. We'll scale it backwards in again, out again, scale it again after duplicating it, and voila! Now we have the beveled part. This uses 23 parts. It's like, you know, you shouldn't really have to do this. I would definitely not recommend, if you're actually gonna build something, I don't recommend using this technique. I guess you can kind of, if you really want to, but I wouldn't suggest it. Let's see, what else do we have? Right, we have this thing. And now this mainly just use Fractality's pipe plugin. So we'll just for the sake of it, to make something a little bit more fun, we'll take this part here. And then we'll take a cylinder and we'll place on top of it just so we get the position right. And we'll just duplicate it, the same technique as before. Actually, we'll make it 60, just speed things up a little bit. Whoop. And if you don't know how I like switch between the values so quickly, that is because I use 2 and 3 on my keyboard. As you can tell, it changes the value. It multiplies or divides. So if I press 2, it will divide. If I press 3, it will multiply. And it just multiplies by 2, divides by 2. So you can keep going. You can go to really small values up to really big values like that. Holy snap. Amazing, right? We go back down again to whatever I was using. 30. There we go. No, 60. Now we duplicate these parts here. Move them upwards. We use move object, move them inwards like that. Whoa! Actually, we'll move them outwards like that. And now we multiply. Now we duplicate them again. Move them inwards. Move them upwards again, like that. And we can rotate the group by 30. No, we'll move by 15. Now we select the other ones as well. The second row, 30 again. Excellent. Now, let's do some wonky stuff here. We'll select in. Now, here's the thing about how this plugin works. In whatever order you will select these objects, that's the order it will create a cylinder in between them. So if I select them like this, and then hit the pipes plugin here, as you can tell, it created a pipe right next to them. Oops. So let's like select these in a weird fashion. We'll go up and then down. And obviously, because I can't deselect the original part, I cannot just have to create the pipes and then do it again. There we go. And look at that. That's a really weird stuff. It can be even cooler maybe if we just, I don't even know what we're even doing at this point. We'll pipes. Everything is a pipe. Maybe we do again. Holy snap! Just look at that. Man, what a pipe thing. Whatever this is. Excellent. You know what? Everything's a pipe. Did I just kill Studio? I might have killed Studio. No, actually I didn't. It's because there's groups. Remove the groups. No groups allowed. There we go. Pipe. And I said, let there be pipes. No? No pipes? Why are you not creating pipes? Oh crap. Okay, well there we go. Oh, that just almost killed my Studio. Excellent. So as you can tell, fun with pipes. And I think I covered everything. Did I? I can't tell anymore. It is okay. Well, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Good tutorial. I hope you learned something. All right. See ya.